It's always great chatting with downtown TJ Brown, who's back in action. UFC Fight Night, June 25th, next Saturday. TJ, how are you, man?
Man, I'm great, dude. Counting down the days, At this point, I'm a little hungry, but man, trainings went well. I've had a long camp, and I'm just ready for next Saturday.
When did you find out about this fight? It looked like you got a full camp.
Yeah, dude, definitely full camp. I guess 8 weeks ago, dude, 7 8 weeks. I talked to Jason. I was hoping to get on that Singapore card, fighting the same opponent. Then they moved me to the 25th. So I've had plenty of time to train, man. Weight's low, dude. So we're in a good place right now.
Let's talk about that last win. Charles Rosa, pretty nice name to have on the resume. How satisfying was that victory, just with the fact that Rosa's a vet in the sport?
100%. Not only that, taking that fight 2 or 3 day notice, having trained for a southpaw, and then getting ready for him, just overcoming those obstacles was a win for me too. And again, Charles Rosa is a super dog. I had him real. I thought I was going to finish him with that arm triangle. At the end of the second, he dogged out of it. So he's a super tough cat, but again, glad to get the win and keep this winning streak going.
And let's talk about your opponent here. A veteran move off the top. I didn't say his name because it's a tough one to pronounce, so I didn't want to get in any trouble, but we know he's got 46 fights. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
A true veteran, man. If you look at him, man, he's got a whole lot of fights. I think he said 46, so he's no one I'm going to overlook, but it's clear and cut that I believe I'm a better striker than he is. He's a good wrestler. But I train with great wrestlers, not to mention Bryce Mitchell, one of the best grapplers in the UFC.
Oh yeah,
me and him has been training together. Been training hard with all the good wrestlers over at Glory. Isaac Dolgarian just got in the UFC. So man, I'm more ready than ever, man. I truly don't believe there's any 45 that can hold me down, and I'm looking to get out there and really establish my jab and put on a great performance.
I was going to ask you about camp. I know you had split time the last camp at Glory. Same thing this time. How did you sort of figure that all out? How long were you at Glory for? How long were you back home?
Sure. I was about 4.5 weeks at Glory. Then the rest of it was here in Little Rock at Westside MMA. Man, it was great, dude. James hooked me up at the spot over there, and spent a lot of time with those guys over there. Man, I just can't say enough about that whole camp, and it really gives me time to get over there and be by myself. Over here, I've got a lot of responsibilities, which I like, but when I'm over
you're
there,
a dad. It's tough. I know how it is. I got 2 kids, so I can totally relate. And I don't, and I'm not training for a fight, so I can only imagine how difficult it is.
Right on. And I love talking to my son, but preparing for a fight, you kind of have to go to a different place, and going over there and getting by myself, no distractions, no anything, it really puts me in a good place and gets my focus right. And I think a lot of my wins in the UFC have come from that. There's something special about just getting by yourself, having to deal with your own thoughts, and really sorting things out. So you can really find yourself, and that's something that allows me to do. Although I'm a bit lonely over there, I miss my friends and stuff, but it's ultimately so good for me and so good for my mental health.
You talked about Bryce Mitchell, your longtime training partner. How cool is it to see him get that recent win over Barbosa? And I know big things are ahead. Like, that was a huge win for him, and I think that's put him in that conversation of a guy who's going to be fighting for the title pretty soon.
You better believe it. To be honest with you, I wasn't surprised. I think Barbosa was a good matchup for him, and dude, there's no reason Bryce couldn't be the champ. Like, man, I've been training with him my whole life, and that not my whole life, but my whole career. And man, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't surprise me, man. And not only that, man, it's a bit motivating, to be around someone you've come up with, and see them climb the ranks like he has and do so well. It's not only inspiring, but it's great to be around, man. He's a great guy, and I'm happy for his success. And you know what? To be honest, I want a little bit of it myself. So we're on the right track, and I think I'm fixing to start reaping some benefits, man.
Yeah, and he's just such a fun guy, I'm sure, to hang out with. Such a unique personality too. So he's good to have in the room to lighten things up, I would imagine too. Maybe on those tougher days, Bryce is quite the character, right? So
of course, dude. Of course, yeah. He's always entertaining, man. Whether we're in the gym or out of the gym, he's a cool cat, man. He's a good guy too. Good cat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Weight cut, I imagine that's going well. We got the fight next Saturday. Everything seems good.
Yeah, everything's on schedule, man. Again, I want to thank the guys at the UFC PI, also Icon Meals for sending the meals. That's really a game change for me, and it makes things so much easier. You have the meal set out for you. There's no overthinking, there's no cooking, there's no cleanup. So I just really want to thank those guys for making my life way easier.
Your corner. Imagine Coach Rowley will be there. Probably Kraus. Who else is going to be in the cage with you that night?
Yep. It'll be me, James, Rolly, and Bryce will be there as well.
Oh, Bryce is going to corner you again. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. It's my guy.
Good stuff.
It's good to go into these fights with someone, that's been there in the trenches with you, and someone you can trust, and those three people in my corner, I couldn't ask for better people there. When times get tough, you're going into that third round, you want someone there you can count on, someone's word you can trust, and those three are the ones.
And what's the dynamic like between James and Bryce? Because I know both, decently. That must be like a fun dynamic, because I know Kraus can joke around a little bit. As great of a coach he is, I know he lightens the mood too.
No doubt. They actually just recently started training, did some training together too. So they've got the utmost respect for each other, man. As far as training, but as far as just cats, man, they're cool cats with good character. Both of them. Dude, I was telling my brother this morning, I was like, man, James is just a good guy to be around. He's always kind of lifting you up, bringing you some positivity and a bit of gangster too when it comes to fighting. So, man, I really enjoy being around that, and him and Bryce get along really well.
How's this fight playing out on June 25th? How do you see it going down?
Man, I'm gonna knock this guy out. He's tough. He can take a shot, but after accumulation of punches, man, and me stuffing his takedowns, he's gonna want a way out of there, and I want to give it to him.
My math may be off a little bit. It wasn't the greatest in school. Is this a new contract you're on right now? How many more fights do you have left? Yeah.
Yes, dude. They just gave me. It was so relieving, getting this new 4-fight contract, and it's got some decent money on it. So I'm hoping after I win this fight and they give me the performance of the night bonus, I'm wanting to invest my money and make some good decisions. I'm not gonna like Coach Rowley was really on my butt, after my fight before last, I didn't spend it as wise as I should have, so I'm really going to try to make some proper investments, try to spend it on some right things and save some money and do things right this time. With gas prices raising up and this world going crazy, I better start saving and doing right.
Yeah, I agree. And James is probably one of the best guys to ask about that stuff, because he's got so much stuff going on outside the cage. It's awesome to see. And I know he's helped a lot of fighters too, which is great.
Yeah, I just recently listened to his podcast, that 1% podcast, and he was talking about that. You see a lot of fighters, after fighting, like they're done, and I don't want to be in that boat either. I'm going to coach and have my own gym, but at the same time, I need to use this time and these wins and this big chunk of money and do right with it, and that's the plan.
This is the mentality. I don't want to say maybe mentality, but you talked about, being inspired by Bryce. What about getting that new contract? That's got to give you a nice boost going into this fight too, just knowing the company's behind you, right?
No doubt. For a while there, I felt like I was fighting for my job, just to be here. And, now it's like, I'm here now. Now I want to stay for a while. I love this lifestyle that I'm able to live. It gives the life for me and my son that I'm so grateful for, and I want to keep it. People talk about why they like to fight, and man, and I do love the lights. I do love performing, but man, this life I'm able to live with fighting, I want to keep it. So I want to keep these wins going, so I can stay around for a while.
And it continues next Saturday, UFC Fight Night. TJ, thank you so much for the time. Always a pleasure, my man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
For sure. You guys can follow me at Downtown TJ Brown on Instagram. And as always, I just want to thank my coaches and my training partners at both Glory MMA and Westside MMA, man. I wouldn't be here without you, and I'm so thankful. And I'm also thankful for you for giving me this platform to be on here and talk, man. Thank you.